everyone, Melanie with Fun and Flavor. So I made these pork chops a while back and I thought I videoed it, but I guess I didn't. But anyways, so I was gonna make those pork chops tonight and I didn't have a recipe. I just did it on the fly, trying to figure out, something to do for dinner. And it turned out being the best pork chops I've ever made. So from what I can remember, I know I took some butter and some oil. I'm going to use my garlic infused oil just because I love the flavor that it gives. Just there. That's enough. All right. I'm going to let this come up to temperature. I'm going to use my cast iron because I'm going to take this pan after I sear the pork chops. Then I'm going to turn and put it in the oven. So these are already ready to go. But what else I'm going to do, Jimmy's like, how about some tomatoes and rice? And I was like, yeah, okra sounds good. Don't have that. Of course not. But I'm going to do some tomatoes and rice, and he wanted some collard greens. I'm not doing the collard greens from scratch. I don't have them. Usually I just have plain collard greens in the can and then I season them myself, but I don't have it. But I do have one, and I'm going to work smarter instead of harder. I don't like my pots, my sauce pots, to go into the refrigerator. Really, they shouldn't. Do I get lazy and they go in the refrigerator? Yes, but I don't want to do that. So instead of having to wash something and put something in another dish to store it in the refrigerator, we're going to do it this way.
I'm about washing my dishes.
Okay.
If I can wash my dishes.
You can wash your dishes.
Okay, I'm gonna wash my dishes.
Wyatt's going to wash his dishes. Hold your breath. But it doesn't happen often.
Oh wait, is the thing empty?
Yes, the dishwasher's empty. Oh my gosh. All right. So, Pampered Chef can opener. I've been seeing a lot of posts online. People are like, oh, it's too difficult to use. I can't get the hang of it. I'm like, what is so hard about this? So, I'm going to come closer to you. You see the can opener. Goes down like that, right? Well, you're going to have to come down here and look. Wyatt, come here and hold this can. Just hold the can. All right, can opener, right there. What, pray tell, is so hard about putting that on there? Thank you.
Because you had to have someone else put it on there.
Oh, because I was holding it in the air so the camera could see it. Don't fuss with
I
me.
mean, you got all this right here. I mean.
Yeah.
Why is there a piece of string in this thing?
I don't know. That's gross. But you just turn it, and you'll feel when you're done, because it'll give like a pop. And then everyone's like, I don't know what to do now. See, I could hear it. Now, all you have to do is lift up. You want it to let go? Turn it back just so that it snaps open. It is not difficult. But the best part is, there's no food on my can opener because it never touches the food. It cuts the seal on the can. It doesn't touch my food.
You got ginger ale in here? Give me one.
There's some in the refrigerator outside. It's cherry flavor, but it's really good. There's some regular ones out there too. Gosh, how many of y'all out there are parents of grown children? I think it's harder to parent grown children than it is children. But he just made the comment, we were talking about how when we built this house, the kitchen seemed so big on paper. And we were both trying to get through and do stuff. He's like, well, before you know it, welcome to my life. I'm so glad Wyatt wasn't here for that one.
You know that door was up the entire time, right?
Yeah. But you didn't see what I did. Oh well.
Oh man, you can eat that.
You What?
Collard greens.
I don't know how you can't.
They're disgusting.
They're not disgusting. All right. So when I put my pork chops in the oven in a little bit, I'm gonna put my collard greens in there as well. That way they can cook, heat up, whatever you want to call it, all at the same time. And I've never done this before, but I'm going to try to do the same thing with my rice and tomatoes. Usually when I make rice and tomatoes, I put my tomatoes in with my rice as it's cooking. Well, I didn't have any okra, and I was sitting here wondering, I was like, I wonder if I could do this, because I bake dishes with rice, you know, that cooks while it's baking. So why can't I do the same thing with rice and tomatoes? So we're going to give that a try. And hopefully this time I don't splash myself. There we go. And splash it all over the place. All right, this is starting to sizzle a little bit. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna open these up, rinse them, give them a good rinse off. I know everyone argues about that. Rinse it, don't rinse it. I don't know, but I'm gonna rinse them. Okay, pork chops are all rinsed. I'm going to, should have grabbed some tongs while I was over there. So usually I have so many, I don't keep them all in one spot. I don't mind all this mess because, all right. So these pork chops are not as thick as the last ones that I cooked. The last ones were really thick and they were really good. So I'm just gonna have to be mindful that not to cook these quite as long. When I looked at this pack, I thought it would only have 5 in it, but it doesn't. It actually has 6. So we're gonna have to squash them together. I wish I'd known. I would have gotten out my bigger cast iron skillet. But it is what it is. It's still gonna cook all the way through regardless. Because once I brown it on each side, get that good sear on it, and it holds in all the juices, I'm going to move this out of my way. I'm going to pop it into the oven and let them finish cooking. Like I said, I can't remember if I did this and filmed it or not, and I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. But like I said, they were thicker pork chops, and I put them in here, and I cooked them just like what I'm doing now, and I popped them into the oven so they could finish cooking, and the intention was to make some gravy, and I clearly remember I was making a salad to go with this, and I ended up slicing my finger and on the Pampered Chef's Rapid Mandolin, Rapid Prep Mandolin. Yeah, because I decided to be smart and not use the food chute and pusher because scalloped potatoes, that's what it was. I was making scalloped potatoes and I couldn't get my potato wouldn't fit in the chute. And so I had to take the chute off. And I was doing that and I had one little sliver left. I was like, oh, I can get this. Well, I ended up getting my finger at the same time. So anything that was filmed, if I filmed it, I probably deleted it at that point in time. But it's all good. All right, let me get my tongs back. Only thing I'm going to do to these pork chops, I'm going to salt them. Let's do this pepper. Pepper's pepper, but I'm going to put some pepper on them. And I remember I was going to make gravy afterwards, and I didn't because I cut myself and it hurt, and yeah, you know, that's the extent of my days. But anyway, I am going to add a little bit more water to this because the juice from the tomatoes is not going to be quite enough for all the rice to cook. So actually I'm just going to use my measuring cup here. And I'm not adding quite a full cup, but get out another, not that one, not that one. Well, doggy. I know I have, there we go. Stuff in here, you can't seem to find it. Probably could have used one that was collards, but. I actually like it when my kids are in the kitchen with me. That was one of my biggest reasons for going back to Pampered Chef. Was I felt like I wasn't cooking anymore, which I wasn't. I was stopping and picking up takeout. And circumstances have definitely changed in my life this year. And cookout really wasn't an option. Well, let's let those go just a little bit longer. There's a lot of moisture coming out of them, which is fine. And as these cook, I might turn it back up just a little. Because I'm not looking to cook them all the way through. I'm just looking to sear them. But we'll turn that up. All right, and I'm going to add my 3 onion seasoning. You guys know this is my favorite. I have like 6 more bottles in the pantry of this. Because anytime I get anything from Pampered Chef, I get more seasoning because I don't want to run out. By far the best, in my opinion. Oh, don't get me wrong. The bell pepper and herb, or crushed bell peppers, I'd have to pull it out and look at it. That one's spot on. And I usually use that one when it comes to my collards. The garlic, that seasoning, and I can't remember what else. But, of course, I can't use it because I'm going to turn that on. While that's on, I'm going to get out my foil. So I have that ready to go over this. I want to say I put onions on top last time. I'll just lay this over here. So I'm going to go grab an onion real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Grab that. I'm going to just grab a small flexible cooking or cutting mat. I don't want to cut directly on my counter. Let's see how these are coming out. Well, not quite what I wanted, what I had last time, but I guess it's better than, like I said, I'm not trying to cook them all the way through. I guess I should have had my oil up a little bit higher so I could have gotten that good crispiness on them. But that'll be okay. All right, my chickens do not like onions, which is fine because I don't want my eggs, my onions tasting like onions, yeah. So it's fine. It'll go out to compost. Just use that as my garbage bowl right now. Don't know why I just did that. Because I'm talking and not thinking, but it'll be all right. The onions are going to cook and it's not going to matter if they're onion halves or whole pieces. I'll probably only do half the onion anyways. Yeah, because I used the Rapid Prep mandolin to slice my onion, which was so quick and easy. And I do like it, but I say it every time. I did a in-house party, in-person Pampered Chef party, and we were using the Rapid Prep mandolin, and I was like, yeah, you don't want to go without that shoot right there because you'll hurt yourself. Hadn't done it yet. That was before I cut myself. But we, some of the girls that were there, we were like, yeah, Pampered Chef's just a whole different level of sharp. And I remember Kylie was kind of like, what? Sharp? We're like, no, you have sharp. You're seriously sharp. And then you have Pampered Chef Smart. And Pampered Chef Sharp is just a whole nother level. Actually, we'll use the other half of this. Alright. Did I tell you the story about a party I did years ago? My host, this knife, I just got my knife set. She was trying to help me out by washing up some of the dishes that I used while cooking. And this knife, I laid it in the sink. And I always lay my knives on my right side facing, the knife facing out. Well, she didn't know, and she was washing dishes. Next thing I know, she just disappeared. And I was like, where'd Michelle go? I don't see her anywhere. She had cut herself. She literally just grazed the knife and it sliced her open. And there, she was back in the bathroom. She didn't want me to know. She didn't want me to get upset. And I felt so bad. Oh, I hated that for her. But they finally got it to stop bleeding, and she was able to super glue it shut, which was good. I mean, it worked. So you can always super glue yourself. It's the same thing they use pretty much the same thing they use in the hospital. And my doctors always said, like, that's good. Because I cut myself on Pampered Chef stuff a lot, apparently. All right, I'm going to turn this off. We're going to grab my foil. Yes, it's hot, but it's okay. I can hold that. All right, I'm going to pop this into this oven. And at the same time, I'm going to put in my tomatoes and rice. We'll give this a try and see how this works out for me. Hope it doesn't like boil over. That'd be a mess. And I'm gonna put my collards in here. That way, when dinner's done, all I have to do is clean up the dishes that we ate on. Everything else, with the exception of the cast iron, because I would never put my cast iron in the refrigerator. But the rice and tomatoes, the collards, all that can go straight into the refrigerator. I don't have to worry about finding a dish to put it in and then having to wash that dish. But my cast iron I will run it under really hot water, just like I do my stoneware, and scrape it all good. I might, if I have to, I'll use a little bit of soap on a rag, but wash it off real quick. But the key to cast iron to keep it seasoned, is to dry it immediately. And then I usually take a little bit of oil, like vegetable oil. I use my spray and spray it on a paper towel, and I rub the paper towel all around my cast iron. Not a lot, just a little. And then I get a dry paper towel and I lay it in the bottom. So it'll absorb any excess oil, but also any excess moisture that's in the air to keep it from rusting. But if you wash your cast iron and just set it there to dry, it's going to rust and you will have to re-season it. And no one's got time for that. That's all I gotta say. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up. I will bring you back as soon as this is ready and we'll go from there. All right, so dinner's done. I wanted to bring you back and show you. Of course, the pork chops aren't like they turned out last time. So here's the pork chops. I'm sure they're gonna be just as tender. Let's do this. Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna be good. definitely. I wish they had had that more of a sear, you know, the browning on them. The rice didn't work out quite like I wanted to. I had to pop it into the microwave for about 13 minutes off. You know, I went 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. So we know that won't work from now on. And then finally our collards. Of course, they did heat up in the oven and they're fine. So we got that going. I hope y'all have a great night. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. And blessings out.